Hey, it's Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Sunday, April 9th. So today we will have the moon move out of Scorpio energy and move into Sagittarius energy. This is essentially the light at the end of the very dark tunnel that we always feel that we're in when the moon is in Scorpio energy. We feel that because, of course, Scorpio energy is shadow work. We have to go into the depths of our soul, into the depths of our psyche, really kind of understand where there are unconscious blocks and challenges preventing us from moving forward, really kind of illuminating where these hidden blockages are so that we can transform our inner state and prepare for the major changes that need to be taking place in our exterior realm. The Sag energy is a fire energy, so it does kind of bring us a little bit of a renewal, if you will. It dries us off from some of the emotions that we had to sit in while the moon was in Scorpio. And it really kind of shows us where it is that we have to be more optimistic, more confident, where we really have to kind of remind ourselves of the big vision, the big dream. And it reveals a new truth, a new mission, a new meaning, a new purpose. So we're definitely starting to organically and naturally see some of the little bits of information and details be revealed. Again, we've been hoping and praying for clarity. We are looking for validation, and we are definitely starting to get some of those little bits and pieces and puzzle pieces this week. Now, there are 12 different aspects here today. All 12 of them involve the moon, which makes it a moon day, one of 4 that we will have this week. We dived into some of those patterns and behaviors, dove, I should say, in this week's Ascension forecast. If you haven't taken a listen to that already, I would definitely recommend you do so. We are in for a emotionally refining week, starting here today. So while the moon is still very much in Scorpio energy, we are going to make a positive interaction with the sun. The sun, of course, in Aries energy, the moon in Scorpio. What do they have in common? A co-ruler, Mars. Mars is the primary ruler of Aries energy, the co-ruler of Scorpio energy. What do they also have in common? They are intense. They are driven. They are determined. And meshing the moon with the sun right now is a beautiful overlap on where it is that we are kind of moving away from some of the blockages, some of the challenges of the past in order for us to kind of lighten the load and see where it is that now we are preparing to start fresh. Again, tapping into that Aries energy, very initiating, very fresh, very focused on beginnings. The moon will try Neptune. We get some water on water action here. And what does water do? Well, first of all, it is very emotional. It is very intuitive, but it cleanses us. It purifies us. It helps us emotionally and mentally kind of transform our inner realm into a state of solidarity, into a state of strength and stability. Why? Because we have to tap into our vision and our dreams. That Neptune energy, of course, very creative, very fantasy-like, very imaginative. We are receiving intuitive insights. They are very strong with this water on water component. We are definitely emotionally aligning to new inspirations, to new ideas, to new creative solutions. The moon in Scorpio making a positive interaction with Jupiter, the planet of growth, expansion, beliefs, abundance, and blessings, who of course is in this Aries energy as well. So again, we get a oomph, an inspiration, a motivation, a determination, if you will, to push past these obstacles, push past these blockages and challenges in order for us to create a brand new opportunity, pushing the boundaries of our comfort zones, pushing the boundaries of our comfortability, pushing the boundaries of our opportunities. And of course, Jupiter is setting out to show us where it is that we can absolutely create something new if we were to just get out of our own damn way. Now, the last aspect that the moon in Scorpio is going to make before going void, of course, and shifting into that Sag energy is a direct opposition with Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, worth, pleasure, money, who is in her place of power in this Taurus energy. Scorpio and Taurus energy, of course, it's across from each other in the zodiac wheel, definitely representing what needs to die in order for something new to be born into its place. Emotionally, the moon is in Scorpio energy, which is about death, which is about endings, which is about closure of self, of elements, of topics and themes, in order for us to have the space to build something new. What are we building, you may ask? Well, Venus suggests that we're building new routines, new ideas about our own self-worth, our own levels of worthiness. And in that, we fill that cup up, it flows over to our personal relationships, still very much in this full moon in Libra energy that Venus was the ruler over. And she's showing us what it is that we need to do in order to create more happiness, joy, safety, security in our lives, starting with A, the way that we treat ourselves, B, the way that we allow other people to treat us, and C, where it is that we are actually focused on the bare basics of the foundation that we need to create, to strengthen in order for us to continue to build these dreams and visions, these new changes and transformations upon. So 5:10 a.m. is when the moon goes void, of course, and things get shaky and things get unstable and things get uncertain. We will lock into the Sag energy at 8:57 a.m., again, Eastern Standard Time. And at 9:22 a.m., we have the first aspect with the moon and Sag sextiling, which is a beautiful energy, with Pluto, the great transformer, who is in this Aquarian energy. Fire energy, air energy, has a lot of creative flow, has a lot of force, has a lot of stimulation. And of course, Pluto is really looking to kind of deconstruct, to destroy old systems, old foundations, old boundaries in order for us to be better, to be more progressive. Now, the moon in Sag has us hyped up. We're confident, we're optimistic, we're dreaming the biggest dream ever. And in that, realizing some of the elements in the here and now that aren't going to support that vision coming to life. Therefore, deconstructing, destroying those particular elements, freeing up some space in order for us to build something new in its place. The moon in Sag will interact with Chiron, the wounded healer, in this Aries energy. And this does kind of scream that we are recognizing where there's been a huge amount of growth, where there's been a huge change within us, where it is that we are morphing into the newest versions of ourselves. We are renewing our faith, renewing our confidence, renewing our optimism in not only ourselves, in what it is that is actually possible for us when we raise our vibration and frequency to where it needs to be, where we really align our heart and our head, and where it is that we are focused on creating something new. The moon will make a positive interaction with Mars. Mars, of course, the god of war, ruling over our physical energy, our drive, our passion, our desires, even our anger. In this Cancer energy, has us all wish-washy, has us all up in our feels, has us looking back, more attached to the past than we are to the present or to the future. We are inspired and motivated at peak times, I will say. It's a very, very unstable energy, kind of ebbs and flows. But this is a positive aspect, which means that we are really motivating ourselves to be inspired, to be determined, to be excited. We're really aligning with what it is that we want to take action on. We're really listening to our feels, to our gut, and we're really kind of gaining a lot of perspective on what it is that we need to be doing for ourselves first and foremost. Here's where things get sticky. The moon is going to get into the boxing ring and square off with Mr. Saturn. Mr. Saturn, the ruler of karma, of rules, of responsibilities, of structures, of foundations in this Piscean energy, very difficult. We are recognizing where it is that, we're having a hard time building something new. We're having a hard time aligning with our feelings. This Pisces energy is about endings and closures, especially where the illusions of lies, of self, of belief is coming in and being concerned. And of course, this energy is bringing us down a couple of pegs. It's a little bit of a reality check. We are tapping into the not so nice narrative that Mr. Saturn usually brings upon us. And what we're going to get from this is we're going to feel the weight. The weight of what, you may ask? Well, the weight of the roles and responsibilities that we got going on in our lives. the weight of the obligations and the commitments that we have to other people. Why is that such a big deal, you may ask? Because emotionally speaking, we're in a conflict. We're clashing. Our own personal wants, needs, desires, our own personal emotions are oriented to the future. We want to spend a little bit more time pouring into ourselves. However, the roles and responsibilities, the levels of commitment and obligations that we have to society, to other people, is really kind of blocking us from doing what it is that we need to be doing for ourselves. And we're definitely going to feel the emotional conflict and tussle, if you will, in order for us to figure out how to balance those particular energies. The moon will bump into the true node, which in this particular aspect is going to provide us with a little bit of an opportunity to see where new paths are unfolding. The true node, of course, in this Taurus energy, trying to show us what we need to build, what we need to create in order to get on the right path for our soul's mission, our soul's purpose. The moon, of course, in Sag energy, really flying high, really dreaming big, really biting off more than we can chew. But what we realize here is with this new level of optimism, with this new level of faith, with this bigger picture, we are actually able to see now where it is that some of these baby steps are actually being illuminated for us to take these baby steps moving forward and recognizing the baby steps count as a step in the right direction. The moon will make a tough interaction with the sun and then a tough interaction with Jupiter, both, of course, in this Aries energy, not very far away from one another. And this is going to be an illumination on where it is that we may not be able to sit back and wait for opportunities to knock on our door. We actually might have to kind of light a fire under our ass and in our soul space in order to motivate us and inspire us to get out in the world and create opportunities for ourselves. We want to boss up. We want to be better. We want to reap more rewards than we've ever reaped before, but it does require us to do the work. And sometimes many of us sit back and just think that the manifesting energies and our hopes and our prayers to the prime creator are going to deliver these opportunities right at our doorstep, not realizing that we're wasting time, that we are creators of our own reality. And that does require us sometimes to roll up our sleeves, to get our hands dirty, to put ourselves out there in a way that allows us to take control of the circumstances and create the kind of opportunities that we're sitting back hoping and praying will just kind of fall in our lap. The last aspect that we have here today is the moon making a awkward interaction with Mars. Now, this awkward interaction is really going to put us at a space where we don't know where to put our energy, our time, our focus. A lot of this, again, is because Mars is not in his place of power here in this Cancer energy. Again, very emotionally, intuitively in tune with mostly other people's wants, needs, and desires. We're having a hard time really aligning with what it is that we need for ourselves. But because of this water energy of Cancer, we do have to really kind of understand that the flow is not steady. The flow is not stable. Things can kind of rush into us. We can feel good. We can have that clarity. We know what we want to do, and then it evades and escapes us just as quickly. So this is kind of putting us in a particular path where, of course, there is restlessness, there is anxiety, there is anticipation. We do want to get out in the world. We do want to get started on creating new realms, new realities for ourselves. But we've lost the flow, we've lost the inspiration, we've lost the motivation at this point, and now the confusion is absolutely setting in.